I have with me today, joining me, a group of very, very impressive visionaries. A visionary in civic leadership, a visionary in global hospitality, a visionary in art and design, and a visionary in music. Two visionaries in music. But before we move any further, I would like to take a moment to extend a special welcome to a few of our elected officials who have taken time from their busy schedules to join us today. We have a number of council people. Council President Darrell Clark from the 5th District, Councilman Mark Squilla from the 1st District, in whose district the SLS project resides. Councilman Kenyatta Johnson from the 2nd District. He's on this side of Broad Street, where the Kimmel Center is. Councilwoman Blondell Reynolds Brown, State Representative Brian Sims from the 182nd District, Congressman Chaka Fattah from the 2nd District. If you're here, please raise your hand so we can acknowledge you. I know Chaka is here. Thank you. State Senator Larry Farnese. Larry, I know you're here someplace. At the bar? State Senator Vincent Hughes. I just saw you. I know you're here. Thank you. And gentlemen and ladies, your ongoing support of development in Philadelphia and your understanding of how a project of this magnitude can positively affect our city is deeply appreciated. It's very hard to believe that just 15 months ago, I, along with Sam Nazarian, founder, chairman, and CEO of the award-winning SBE Entertainment Group in Los Angeles, and Gene Cohn, architect and chairman of Cohn Peterson Fox Associates, announced our game-changing project for the city of Philadelphia, the SLS Hotel and Residences. This 47-story boutique hotel and condominium tower, located at the corner, right across the street of Broad and Spruce, on Gamble and Huff Walk, right across the street from this very building. This project will, without a doubt, bring vitality, excitement, and glamour to the Avenue of the Arts. Since our December 2013 announcement, the energy and excitement surrounding this project has been profound. There is a real buzz, but that's to be expected when the letters SLS are involved. From the beginning, Sam and I knew that we wanted to create a new gold standard with every aspect of this project. As we announce the next key milestone for the SLS project, there is no doubt whatever that we have indeed raised the bar. I have frequently spoken of Sam Nazarian and Gene Cohn as the dream team for a once-in-a-generation project like the SLS. Today, I have the privilege of announcing the newest member of our dream team, bringing the same passion, focus, and expertise to deliver this world-class project here in Philadelphia. We are proud to welcome the legendary interior designer and creative icon, and that man is Mr. Philippe Starck. This project marks Philippe's debut in Philadelphia. As Sam will share in a few moments, Philippe is a trusted partner of SLS and he will serve as the exclusive interior designer for the SLS LUX Hotel. In a few moments, Philippe will share his initial vision for this transformative project. But while we look to the future of the SLS, we must also take a moment to honor and celebrate our past. We couldn't be here today without the graciousness and wonderful support of my friend Kenney and Leon Huff, founders of Philadelphia International Records. As many of you know, the SLS Hotel and Residences will rise on the site of the original Philadelphia International Records, a site where some of the greatest music was ever recorded, a site where an astounding 175 gold and platinum records were created. Now that is a gold standard to aspire to. And Kenney, Leon, it's a gold standard we intend to meet. I promise you that. I'll speak a bit more about the historical legacy of Philadelphia International Record and its incredible sound a bit later in the program. But now, I want to welcome someone who has been a catalyst for positive urban development since being sworn into office in 2008. Mayor Michael Nutter has stood side by side with me as I have developed many projects across this city, including 777 South Broad and South Star Lofts, just down the Avenue of the Arts. A driving force for growth in the city of Philadelphia, he has championed the renaissance of our neighborhoods while at the same time embracing bold visions, including the SLS, which will reshape our skyline. Beyond his incredible support of development, Mayor Nutter is also a self-professed music enthusiast and one of the great preservationists of the city's rich R&B history, a history that is often defined by Philadelphia International Records. I am honored that he could join us today to help pay tribute to a Philadelphia music icon and mark the next step in developing the SLS LUX Hotel and Residences. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Nutter.
Good morning, everyone, and Carl, thank you very, very much for that introduction. You know, what can you say? If it's Carl Dranoff, it must be it's either a groundbreaking or ribbon cutting or some other major announcement. Carl is he is focused, and so to Carl and Roberta, because they are a team. We again owe you a great, great debt of gratitude. Please recognize one of our greatest developers in the city, Carl Dranoff. Sam and Arash, thank you again for being here, for maintaining your commitment to Philadelphia. And Arash, you know, I have a great appreciation for the new look. You know, I can't go all the way; it doesn't come in that well. But Arash is, you know, met him one way, and today shows up with a beard. Maybe, you know, next occasion you'll take the top off and just leave the bottom. I'm not sure what you're going to do. But Sam, of course, founder and executive chairman, SBE Entertainment Group. Raj, president, hotel group at SBE Entertainment. Please recognize them for the investment that they're making in Philadelphia. Thank you very, very much. Philippe Stark, designer and architect, most humble gentleman, as I just met him a few minutes ago. You know, for all that he has done, Philippe would give you the impression that he was just a guy kind of wandering into this event here today and kind of hanging out. You're actually a superstar, so, you know, and you're sitting next to two superstars at least. And I mean, you know, Sam's getting up there too. So please recognize Philippe Stark and the great work that he has done. Thank you very, very much. I know that a number of elected officials were recognized. I know a few are actually here and over to the side. Councilman Squilla, thank you for your presence, and certainly Congressman Fattah, Senators Hughes and Farnese, and Representative Brian Sims. To this incredible team assembled here, and we want to thank our hosts, of course, and yours, who pretty much lets us use the Kimmel Center for virtually anything. And thank you very, very much in this incredible redeveloped space. Please recognize our hosts and yours and the folks here at the Kimmel Center. To the folks who really helped to run Philadelphia, because you know I don't do this by myself. On the economic development side, our Deputy Mayor for Economic Development, Alan Greenberger, and his team. To our great city representative promoting Philadelphia, Desiree Peter-Kimbell. Please recognize both of them. They're here today. So much can be said about Kenney Gamble and Leon Huff. First, it's pretty much, for Philadelphians, you pretty much say that all as one word. It really all kind of goes together. You see one, you know the other is nearby. You hear one, you know you're hearing the other at the same time. It really is Kenney Gamble and Leon Huff. And Fatima, thank you so much for not only your presence, but your support and leadership here in the city on any number of issues. Chuck Gamble, good seeing you as well, and the entire Gamble family. Can we please recognize them and the Huff family? I'll leave this at that when I say the following. I can speak for Senator Hughes and Congressman Fattah because of our long history and relationships all out of West Philadelphia, but we spent a lot of time in a place in North Philadelphia, at Broad and Germantown, at the Impulse Discotheque, listening to the sound of Philadelphia. We did a lot of other things, but we were listening to the sound of Philadelphia, and you helped to raise all of us up in the right way. And I think, guys, the statute of limitations has expired for all of that behavior. But nonetheless, wake up, everybody. I am very, very pleased to be here with you today to celebrate the progress of the SLS Hotel and its willingness to embrace, of course, the great history of its location, none other than Philadelphia International Records. I actually, many of us never actually knew the address of that building. We just called it the Philly International Records Building, and you knew where it was. Philadelphia International Records, founded by Kenney Gamble and Leon Huff in the 70s, created, of course, the Philadelphia sound, which is known across the country and around the world. It was created right in that building. This smooth and original sound had its impact on music in Philadelphia, across the country, and around the world. Kenney Gamble and Leon Huff are proud contributors to Philadelphia's diverse musical legacy, which spans genres and generations. Let's give them one more time a big round of applause. And certainly as we acknowledge our past, we look forward to this project that will help to shape our future. Carl Dranoff has in fact created a virtual love train of buildings on South Broad Street. The SLS Hotel, the South Star Loft, 777 South Broad Street, and of course, Symphony House. SLS Hotel will honor our great men here and their work and the artists and Philadelphia International Records by integrating elements of the Philadelphia sound into the interior design of the hotel. I'd like to recognize one more time Philippe Stark, the hotel's designer. Philippe, thank you so much. We must, in fact, preserve our history, not only for our own enjoyment, but for generations to come. And those who may not know today about this great sound or understand that their what they believe original music may have had its history in something created by these two gentlemen. I love talking to young people, and I listen to a lot of music in the car, and I have young people in the car all the time, and some song will come on, and they'll start kind of singing, and I kind of already know the words. And they're like, how do you know that? I said, I knew that song before you were born. You are listening to a remix. I know the original. Still have the records. Those are things that are not in a box. There were these things a long time ago, I explained to the young people. They were about this big. You put it on a device. It had an arm and a needle, and it played music. You can Google it and find out all about it. But I digress. Located on the Avenue of the Arts, the SLS Hotel will add to the city's rich culture and creative sector. It will provide a bold, fresh vision and lead Philadelphia into a new era of artistry. We're proud to have, of course, this new addition to our skyline. And not only will it recognize and add to Philadelphia's thriving art scene, but it will also, in fact, help strengthen Philadelphia's economy, of course, creating hundreds of jobs, added to an impressive list of developments all across our city, $8.5 billion of projects completed, announced, or already under construction just since January of 2014. For some of you who may have been there yesterday, we announced, of course, the groundbreaking of 500 Walnut Street, another fantastic building here in our city. Today marks a transformation. And while the physical studio space of Philadelphia International Records will no longer be located there, the sound of Philadelphia, the spirit of Philadelphia International Records will live on forever, not only in our hearts and in our minds and in our ears, but also in the design of this new development, because there ain't no stopping us now. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Our next speaker, Sam Nazarian, Chairman of SBE, has been a truly extraordinary partner in this dynamic project. His energy and his vision are as remarkable to me today as the first day I met him over 3 years ago. We have always been aligned in what we wanted the SLS to be. We sought to create a very tall luxury tower with best-in-class everything, design, materials, and finishes. We wanted to provide the most luxurious amenities, from an all-season 75-foot long Olympic-sized pool to spa services and to the 24/7 access to the highly renowned SLS food and beverage operations. In short, we wanted to create the most glamorous hotel and residences that Philadelphia has ever seen. We wanted to create a new gold standard for hospitality and luxury living in this emerging global city. Well, we are on our way. To speak firsthand about the newest member of our team, Philippe Stark, as well as his passion and courageous design style, please welcome the founder, executive chairman, and CEO of SBE, Sam Nazarian.
Thank you, everybody. It's a hard lineup to follow, and it's going to be a hard lineup to go in front of. I'm Sam Nazarian, and I'm very happy and honored and proud to be here today for many reasons. Most importantly is our partnership with the Dranoff family and the legacy that the Dranoff family has. The legacy that the Dranoff family has been able to build, not just in Philadelphia, but one that now has resonated with our family back in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. So Carl, your family, thank you so much for including us in this project, for committing to us that you will commit to SLS in Philadelphia. Thank you very much, Carl. Thank you. So SLS, what does it stand for? What does it do? 14 months ago, we were here, and we announced the project. And I think really important to understand that SLS really means three things: style, luxury, and service. Those are the three acronyms for the letter that it embodies the brand. But more importantly, I think for us and our 6,000 employees today, it really embodies something a lot more impressive. It embodies a culture of community, a culture of employees, a culture of design, architecture, food and beverage. And we've been able to now do that in multiple cities. We've opened in Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Miami. We're opening in Seattle. We're opening in New York. And in about 2 weeks, we're opening SLS in the Bahamas. So the way we do that is finding, as I said, the best partners. And SLS here, across from this amazing heartbeat of the city in Kimball Hall, and across from and down the street from the amazing projects that Carl has pioneered, we feel that SLS LUX Hotel and Residences will enable a campus-type effect. Live, work, play. As Carl said, an amazing atmosphere of just the best amenities in a city that already is known for music, entertainment, and as my good friend Steven Starr says, some of the best food in the country. So we're very fond of this city. We're very excited that Philadelphia hopefully will see one of our projects in connection with this amazing dynamic team. And obviously, more importantly, is the story, the history. And I think international records and the history that it embodies kind of reminds us almost of when we did a hotel in Hollywood on the corner of Hollywood and Vine, across from the Capitol Records building, literally across the street. And we were very, that's an unbelievable corner, as is this, an unbelievable, genesis of music, just like here. And we really took that idea and embraced it in one of our hotels. We actually put record players, and this is 3 years ago, back to your point, Mayor, we actually put record players in the rooms, and we got unbelievable records donated to us. And like you said, some of the younger generation had no idea how to play it. And we had to have, concierge come up and show them, but and then, obviously they broke a lot of them. But I think, but to have a story and to have a reason to exist and to have a legacy, it is something we really strive for as a company. And I think our commitment is yet to be delivered, and you have our commitment from SB and our 6,000 going to 7,000 employees by the end of this year, that we're going to deliver something that is appropriate, respectful, at the same time something that mirrors the quality of assets that Carl has built for the city, and with all the support, it's amazing. So thank you very much for allowing us to continue to tell the story. But I'm actually up here not to really talk much about SLS or our company. I'm here to introduce somebody who got me in the business and got many people like me in the business. Philippe Starck is an icon not just in design, but an icon in thinking. He doesn't consider himself a designer or an architect. I don't know what he considers himself. You have to ask his wife because it changes constantly. But when I was 19 and 20 and 21 years old and trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, I was exposed to a radical sense, a sense of being, a sense of design. And I know it may not mean much and it may seem romantic and poetic, but Philippe, through his partnership with a gentleman named Ian Schrager, designed a new language in hospitality. And this language, almost 30 years ago, has translated and resonated and evolved into everything you see, I believe, in hotel design, residential design, and Philippe does designs in yachts, boats, everything you can imagine, from his glasses to his shoes, as a thinker. And 15 years ago, I sought out to work with Philippe. It took me a year of French people hanging up on me in Paris when they weren't on vacation. And but ultimately I got a chance to sell my story, a young guy trying to build a company out of LA, and he said, LA, why LA? And so we convinced him to come, and I think what sold him was my father and our family and my mother, because I think really that was the selling point, and I was blessed to have that. But 15 years ago, fast forward to today, Philippe has been really the DNA of everything we do, whether it's our restaurants, whether it's our branding, whether it's our thinking, whether it's our commitment to quality, and not just for us, but for everybody, that he has an ability, whether it's the Queen of Qatar or an oligarch. He speaks, he's very humble, at the same time he's constantly evolving, and I think the design you'll see here at SLS International, which is really what I want to call it, is something that I think everyone will continue to see the evolution of the Stark legacy. So I'm very proud. Stark has become he is a family member. Him and his lovely wife, Jasmine, who is his trusted partner, and his wife have become part of our family. So we're very excited, along with KPF and Mr. Cohn, who was here last time with us, who's, he's an icon unto himself. And I thank you guys for coming on behalf of Gene, and we're so excited to be able to deliver this. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce one of my mentors and role models, Mr. Philippe Stark.
Thank you, Sam. I am impressed. I'm impressed to be here in Philadelphia. I don't know if I am an architect. I'm really not sure. I don't know if I am a designer, perhaps a little more, but I try to be an inventor. And what you don't realize in Philadelphia, that you are very known in the world. You are very known like the city of intelligence and invention. You have invented a lot of things, and not small things. First, you have invented the peace. It's not nothing. After, you have invented the freedom. It's not nothing. After, you have invented Benjamin Franklin, my hero. The first designer in the world, the best designer in the world. And after, you have invented the sound, this famous Philadelphia sound, which become the sound of the world. It's not nothing. The sound of the world was created here by you. I don't know if you realize the importance of creating the sound of the world. The sound of, I don't know how many generations, because that will never finish. It's not nothing, because the sound, it's a universe. A sound teach you beautiful things. A sound, the music, open your mind. It's not nothing. That's why I am very happy, because invention, it's also SLS. Freedom, it's SLS. Music, it's SLS. That's why that fit. It's perfect. It's a perfect project for you in Philadelphia. But I have something a little more personal to explain you. Since I am born, I design. And since I design, I listen music. I cannot design without music. And this music was this music. And the quality of my work depends immediately of the quality of the music I listen. It's not a joke. When I listen to bad music, never. I make a bad project, never. But when I listen to good music, I make good project, always. That's why I have a debt. I have a debt, and this project gives me the opportunity to pay my debt. I always make a joke when I meet a friend singer like Lou Reed, who is dead, and things like that, and I said to Lou Reed, you know, I have to pay royalties because I have raised this debt. It's serious. And now I can pay this debt. That's why here we shall try to keep the memory. Okay, memory is interesting, but more than that, we shall try to keep the energy. You have make a bucket of energy. You have make a bucket of fire. All the world was fed by this energy. We shall try to continue. We shall try even to make better if it's possible. I cannot guarantee we shall make a better music. Definitely not. But we can guarantee we shall make something enough strong, enough full of energy to passionate young people. And like that, they will continue your work. And that perhaps I shall pay my debts like that. Thank you very much.
And as Sam and Philippe both mentioned, we build on hallowed musical ground. And we would be remiss if we did not acknowledge, celebrate, and pay homage to the former home and studios across the street of Philadelphia International Records. The historic musical headquarters at 309 South Broad Street, that's the official address, was known affectionately as 309, and it was the birthplace of the Philadelphia sound, and launched the careers of many R&B legends, including the Stylistics, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Teddy Prendergast, the OJs, and Patti LaBelle, among many others. On a par with Motown's Hitsville, USA in Detroit, Gamble and Huff's soul empire was a music mecca that had a cultural impact, as Philippe stated so well, not only on the Philadelphia region, but across the globe. Kenney and Leon, before I ask you to share a few remarks, I want you to know how much the legacy of Philadelphia Records means to Sam, Philippe, and I. I think you've heard that today, and it's sincere. And I know that we have every intention of respecting that legacy and are fully committed to ensuring that the SLS Hotel and Residences shine as brightly as your 175 gold and platinum records. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founders of Philadelphia International Records, Mr. Kenney Gamble and Mr. Leon Huff.
Good morning, everybody. Carl Dranoff just told me, he said, this is a love fest. Well, it really is, and Huff and I, we were very appreciative of what's going on. But I'd just like to mention that 309 South Broad Street used to be also not just Philly International, but it was Cameo Parkway. So you would have to include the legacy of Chubby Checker and the Orleans and Dee Dee Sharp and Bobby Rydell. So it was a musical, there's a musical spirit there, you know. And when Huff and I and Tom Bell, who, it was three of us, it wasn't just Huff and myself, when we first purchased that building, it was hard to find someone in Philadelphia to give us a mortgage. And so we had to go to New York to get a mortgage from Chemical Bank. And as three young guys, I mean, that, how old were we then? Huh? We were young, yeah, early 20s or whatever. And we only look old, so we're not really old. And so the music is, it plays a great role, but it also became a place where songwriters like Gamble and Huff, who could not even get in that building when Cameo Parkway was in that building, they used to tell us, you know, you can't come in. But the great part of this story is that here's three guys who couldn't get in the building. We wound up buying the building. That's a good story. But we didn't just buy it for ourselves, because there were so many young writers, so many young producers, Linda Creed, Tom Bell, with great songs. These songs will be around forever. And it became a place where young writers, we were able to give them an opportunity, the opportunity that was not afforded to us. So we were able to open the doors and bring in young people from the streets and be able to express themselves through music And that is the music that you hear all over the world. It's from this group of people, and we stand here today to represent those people who are not here on the spotlight today, but they wrote some wonderful, wonderful songs. So I love Carl Dranoff because he has a similar background. He struggled. He's a guy who struggles. And I was telling Huff, I said, I like people that struggle because that's what Gamble and Huff, we struggled. And we continue to struggle. And so I believe in Philadelphia. And I think that Philadelphia has an obligation to the world, because here is where the soul of America, the spirit of America, was developed here in Philadelphia. This thing called brotherly love, this thing that we call democracy, was created here in this city. So it is my new charge is to promote Philadelphia as being the example of democracy, to being the prototype. So we have a great city and we have a great mission, and I'm really glad you guys are coming. So keep that in mind when you're building, because the whole world wants to come to America. But William Penn, in the early days, he said this state would be like a seed that would create a nation, and it really did for William Penn. It created this great country that we're in. And so just remember that Philadelphia is the example and the sample for the whole world. And we're glad that we had the music to let people know. You just say, ain't no stopping us now, Mike? Yeah, but our theme was that there was a message in our music. And so there's should be a message in this building also, too. So thank you very much. If you want to say something, come on, say something, Mark. Go ahead, just say something.
Say anything. Well, I'm originally from Camden. You know, I was born and raised in Camden, and Philadelphia was right across the bridge where I started my music career. And meeting Gamble it changed my life. And music and Philadelphia was a major part of my career. And I'm happy to see the buildings being developed into another. What I say, after the fire, the phoenix shall rise. And Carl Dranoff, thank you, and thank Philadelphia.
But now it looks like things are finally coming around. I know we've got a long, long way to go, and where we'll end up, I don't know. But we won't let nothing hold us back. We're putting our shows together, we're polishing up our act.